Welcome, Naveen. A lot has happened since September. I want you to take us through how it started. The CAG came out with its report.
Yes.
And all the channels were covering the report. But Zee News was zeroing in on you. Tell me how it started. You saw the first report. And did you contact them at all to get your side of the story shown? What happened?
You're right. After the CAG report came, many TV channels, news channels were covering the CAG report, and many of them mentioned about our company, Jindal Steel and Power Limited. But Zee TV, they were going on and on relentlessly, only targeting us. And while they were targeting us, neither they were asking us our version, nor they were, or wherever we gave them our version, they were not showing our version. So we found it quite strange that, why are they only targeting us? Because we are just one amongst the 200 companies, almost 200 companies mentioned in the CAG report, or one amongst the 200 companies who were allocated coal blocks.
In fact, in the conversations which you haven't shown,
yes,
your man, I think it's Vivek,
yes,
who says, why aren't you covering Tata? Why are you only focusing on Naveen Jindal?
Right. But I never saw it because I never watched Zee TV anyways. I never, thought much about them. But then when they kept on showing, every day, all day long, they were showing only us, then obviously start receiving calls from your friends, from your family. Somebody would call my mother, somebody then, my corporate communications people, they also came and they told us that, this is what Zee is doing. They have shown 78 programs, over 20 hours, or just our company. So whereas if you compare it to any other TV channel, it would not be even 5% of that.
What is the motivation?
It's very clear, because when our people spoke to them, he called our person, Mr. Ravi Mutreja, and this is the first meeting that they had at Costa Coffee. And he said that they want 20 crore over the next 4 years, 5 crores every year. And our team, they said, okay, anyway, we are going to be coming out with a public issue, we are expanding. So there is no harm that if we tied up with them, because they are very firm, they are not going to show our version. So I found it very strange. I said, no, I mean, this is plain, simple extortion. Every news channel they are commercial ventures. They have every right to come and ask for ads. But to say that we will continue to target you unfairly, continue to show false stories, we will not give you a version till the time you pay up, till the time you sign a 4-year agreement with us where there is no going back. If you see the agreement, it says it's a completely one-sided agreement where we have no recourse, we can't get out of it. And we have to pay them 25 crores every year. It's 2 agreements. One is for DNA, the newspaper, and one is for Zee News and Zee Business.
But that came later. First they were asking for 20 crores.
Yeah, so first they were asking for 20 crores, or at least that is the impression that our person got.
When did you take the decision to tape them?
Probably on the 12th.
Because most business people that I know who have had negative stories written about them and even lies, their attitude is usually "Presse panga mat lena." It'll only get worse if we fight. What took you to this point where you took the decision that I'm going to tape them?
I think it was 9th or 10th of September, where in a hotel I was a chief guest at a function, and then they met me at the gate. So they said, we want to talk to you, we want to do this. I said, look, I'm running late, 1.5 hours late for this program. I can't talk to you now. I went ahead. I didn't even know who they were, where they were from. So on the way again, they pestered me. I said, where are you guys from? They said, Zee TV. So then I knew that, last few days, because they had already been showing, and obviously my people had told me that they are unfairly targeting us.
Then you lost it.
So no, then I still said, look, all of you have been showing rubbish, I don't want to talk to you. So I went inside the program. I am greeting people, because this was at the gate. They met me outside the hotel, then inside, then walked through me. So midway when I'm going towards the stage, still he's asking me, Then I turned back. I said, look, I have spoken to you that, you know, I do not want to talk to you. This is not the time. You take a appointment with me. Let's talk in detail. It's not something I can give you, you know, 1 or 2 lines and that will be over. There's lots to be said about it. So, and then I saw this camera. I was like, I'm talking to you. Why are you recording this? So that's when, you know, I was very hurt. So I just caught hold of the camera and moved it.
You gave him a slap.
No, I did not. I did not. If I had slapped him, they would have recorded it. It is recorded. There were lots of people there. They would have. I'm sure they would have filed a case against me.
No,
because
it is on YouTube, which I saw, which is a
yeah, but it is just
slap.
I just caught hold of. No, I did. No, it was not. No.
Camera
No, I just caught hold of the camera and I moved it. Then I thought they would stop at that, but they showed that frame and they continue to do that even now. They sent that footage, you know, of my being in my worst behavior or whatever, you know, to all the channels and everything.
He says in the tapes that we didn't give it to anybody.
No,
he says बहुत लोगों ने मांगा हमने नहीं दिया हम खुद ही दिखा रहे हैं.
नहीं, but you should ask them. The same night, it was on Times Now. Same night, they sent it to everybody. Not everybody showed it, but they sent it to everybody. So when our senior people went and met, then they started saying that no, you got it wrong. It was 20 crores every year, 25 crores every year, and not over 4 years. You got it wrong. So that's what, you know, in that 14, 15
But
minutes.
Then on the 12th, you decided to tape them. It couldn't have been on the 12th. I mean, you must have thought of it earlier to get the cameras organized. 3, 4 cameras, I would imagine, were in different places. And some worked and some didn't. How did you first access these cameras so quickly, or did you have them before?
No, we did not have them before. Our people, you know, organized them. I must say, I must compliment our people. They did a very professional job at this, and they obviously dared also, because they are not professionals at this. This is the first time they were doing something like this, and it's just lucky. You know, we were just very lucky that in one of the cameras, you know, you have perfect footage. You have a perfect frame, because all other cameras, if you see the footage, you know, sometimes showing the roof, sometimes the head, or some, you know, it's different places. It's
so
moving a lot.
So one camera caught it.
So just one
camera. So what was your motivation? You wanted to teach them a lesson. You wanted to expose them that this is what a news organization is doing.
We wanted to bring the truth out. So we did not. Obviously, we had all the recordings that we had till the 17th. Then we still did not want to, you know, pursue this. We said we talked to them, but then they again started off. They again started, I think, somewhere 22nd or 23rd of September. For 3-4 days, they again relentlessly, you know, started to show all those false reports.
But maybe it was because during the negotiations, they found that you were not showing much enthusiasm for paying that amount.
That's right. So, and we said that, you know, since the families know very well, Mr. Jindal knows Mr. Subhash Chandra very well, you know, they must meet. And then I spoke to him, I SMS'd him. He said, look, Subhash, he said, I'll meet you in November. This was September. And then he says that I'll meet you in November. So I said, okay, no problem. I'll look forward to seeing you in November. So with this, they realized that, okay, these guys are not going to pay up. So then they again unleashed their terror on us. That's when we decided that now, you know, there is no point. We must report the matter to the police. So it was a very brave decision that I had to take, because obviously, you know, most people said that, you know, nobody has ever done this. If we do it against a media house, and this person is a media mogul, you know, is the biggest media house of the country. If you do this, you know, they would unleash the terror on us, and it would not be good for us. But then, you know, I always draw inspiration from my father, who always taught that we all have to die, but the brave dies only once, and a coward dies many times. So then I was like, I am not going to compromise, I am not going to settle with them like this, and whatever damage to our reputation, to our name, whatever they could do, they are already doing, they already have done. There is nothing more.
So they've also said that your mother and brother spoke to them and said to tone down the stories or to stop the stories. Did that happen before your people started meeting them about the money and the agreement?
This happened after 5th or something, his younger brother, Mr. Jawahar Goyal, who I've always had good relations with, he came. And obviously, if somebody would come home, you know, my mother also met him, my brother also met him, and we've said, you know, we have such good family relations. You know, if you want to show something in a fair manner, it's no problem. But, you know, do not do this. So they said, yes, we realize that, you know, we should not have been doing this. And that's what.
And your mother requested them?
No, no, my mother just said, you know, you are like brothers, all of you. So all of you must take care of each other and do all these things in a fair way.
And what is his response?
Nice. No, he was also very cordial. He was very nice. And that's all. But he said that I'm not involved with Zee on a day-to-day basis.
Why did he come? Did you ask him to come?
Yeah, we were talking. He said, look, we can discuss and we can meet and discuss these things. I said, okay, come.
So nothing came of it?
No, nothing really came of it.
Because he said, I'm not involved?
Yeah. So that's when we decided. So on 2nd of October, we filed our complaint with Delhi police. Then it does take time, you know, 2-3 days to record all the statements, hand over, you know, immediately they asked us to hand over all the recordings, all the instruments, all the cameras, audios. I think in total there were 13 or 14 things, you know, and then they sent it for forensic investigations to check the authenticity of all these recordings. I think that took almost 2 months. Police obviously has been calling them, discussing with them, interrogating them.
And in all this you spoke to Subhash Chandra only once, when he told you, I'll meet you in November?
No, after that I did, I think around the 26th or 27th, I did speak to him. I told him that, you know, that we have been falsely being accused in these news reports and your people are asking for money. He said, no, my people are doing their work. I said, but they're showing all false news. He said, if they're showing false news, then you take legal action.
When you told him that they're asking for money,
then he said, no, no, they are not, obviously he refused that.
Did he say, I will look into it?
No,
How are they asking for money?
No, he did not say that. He said, my people are doing their work. He said then that your people tried to bribe my people. I said, no. In fact, I had not said this before. When he said that your people tried to bribe my people, I said, no, my people did not try to bribe your people. It was your people who were asking for 100 crores. He said, no. He said, they are only doing their work. I said, no, why don't you please ask them? Just ask them at least whether they have asked, whether they have demanded 100 crores from us or not. That's when he said that my brother would come and discuss with you.
In your conversation, did you understand that he knew about this asking for 100 crores? Obviously. Or did you understand that he's defending his people and wouldn't believe that they would do such a thing?
No, obviously, I think he is completely in know of things. He is, in my view, quite hands-on. He knows exactly what his people were up to, because I also believe they were talking to him before the meeting and after the meeting. And obviously, I mean, I can't say this, but this is what I have heard, that they had been, in fact, you know, very happily, very proudly telling that, you know, we are going to be getting 100 crores from Jindal.
Now, in the agreement that you had, which they gave you, you gave your signature? Did you put your signature on it?
I firstly do not sign any agreements at all. And the agreement that they gave us, you will hear, if you see the video, they themselves are saying that this is only a draft agreement.
So nobody from their side had a signature on it?
No, because it was
and nobody from your side. So it is just a piece of paper.
That's true.
Which really doesn't have any standing.
Yeah, but this is a piece of paper which they are giving in front of camera.
It's with their, on their letterhead? Or it's just
no,
plain?
It is on plain paper. But this is obviously they are giving, and even in their own, I think it was 19th of October, when they realized that we have filed a complaint, we are not going to budge. So that's when they started this again, you know, trying to malign us, trying to distort facts, that saying that, oh, they were the ones who were trying to do a sting on us and we were trying to bribe them, and completely. So if you would see what they were saying and then you see what they were themselves saying in the video, I think everything would be very clear that they are completely lying.
At the Zee press conference, their response has been basically that the media is being throttled, being gagged, because we were showing stories about Naveen Jindal's corruption on our channel. Now, given the recent history where there have been what I would call unnecessary arrests, such as the Facebook post girls, this Twitter person who tweeted against Chidambaram's son, he was arrested.
I think
in that context, your arrests, if looked in that, because those were obviously done by politicians leaning on the police or leaning on the legal system to get those arrests done. Now, with that background, that puts a slight color on today's arrests. You're part of the ruling party, a member of parliament from the ruling party. That then puts this thing that Naveen Jindal has shown his muscle by getting these two arrested.
Okay, firstly, I think they are all completely different cases. Now, in this case, we have been the victims of extortion, okay, and it has been, what a media can do, what is the weapon in their hand. Their weapon is not a machine gun, their weapon is their news channels, and here we are talking about India's biggest media house. So now they unleash their terror on us without showing our version. They took my interview on 11th of September. One second, they took my interview
Did you
on
ask
11th
Subhash
of
about
September.
your interview, why it was not
No,
being
I did
shown?
not speak to him about my interview.
That it was never shown.
No, but our people, even when they met on the 17th, they have asked that you have taken
why aren't you showing
Naveen ji's interview.
He said, ho jayega.
He said, no. He said, no. He said, you see, you also have to understand that it's not, we've only been able to record probably 60–70% of the things. It's not 100%. I mean, there were some things they discussed before or later, or not everything has been recorded. So it is. So I mean, it's completely a different case, and we have been victims of extortion here.
No, but
you
were saying that when they asked about your interview not being shown, you were telling me what they responded.
Yeah, so their response was, you sign the agreement and we'll show it. You pay up the money and then you will see the transcripts. If there are so many places, he says, that forget the agreement if it's taking time, you just send us the check to show to their bosses that yes, we've made a killing over here. And then I'm sure they would have shown my interview, they would have shown that we are the best people. So now in this case, the allegation that you made, that did the police act in a haste, just imagine, it has been more than 1.5 months, almost it's going to be 2 months.
October 2nd.
And media, which is supposedly a very noble profession, media is supposed to be above suspicion. They are, getting involved in extortion. Is this what media is about? We have got them on camera. This is all the proof that we can get. Okay, whatever they have, show it. And there's not only one channel. In India, there are hundreds of channels, and I'm sure there are more than 24 news channels. So there's nobody preventing any one of them to show anything that they have. And if we try to bribe them, we would have tried to bribe others also. So in media, I'm sure nobody can ever say that we have ever tried to bribe anybody ever. That's our reputation. But if you ask the reputation of Zee News, Zee Business, you'll know what they are up to. I'm sure if you see the whole tape, there'll be various places, you'll know. And I know many people who have been victimized by them. But not everybody has proof. Not everybody, like you said, wants to come and take on somebody like that.
Now, about the CAG report that came out and said that these allocations were given, you were given
4 coal blocks after 2004.
From the CAG's point of view, that if you look at it as a natural resource where spectrum is auctioned, then why shouldn't coal be auctioned? And it was given to various people.
Till 2000, there were hardly any takers. And what have we taken? We have taken those coal blocks which Coal India had no interest in. Coal India used to think that these blocks are uneconomical. They can never be mined. We have made them work, and we have created and we have developed these blocks not for selling coal. Every other country which I named, Africa, Africa means dozens of countries in Africa which have coal, Australia, Indonesia, America, many places in Europe. All these countries are happy if you just invest in development of the coal block. If you sell coal, you will give royalty to the government, and whatever money your company makes, you would pay an income tax. But the Indian government, and we must appreciate that, Indian government has said that yes, you have to invest in the coal mines. but you can take coal only to your own project, for your own use. You are not allowed to sell coal. You will have to spend billions of dollars for investing in a power plant, in development of a power plant or a steel plant. Give employment to thousands of people over there, and then only you can utilize this coal.
In one sense, it looks to me what is called Putin style of business.
I don't know what Putin style is.
Putin style of business is Russian government digs for oil, but by the time it comes out and goes into the pipeline, it goes into Putin's private company and the profits are his. So what I'm saying is that you got these coal blocks on a platter, without an auction at very cheap prices, but you're selling the coal
Again,
at market prices.
Price. There is no price.
Then you are selling it at market price. So
what are we selling?
Coal, aren't you?
We're not selling coal. None of us are allowed to sell coal. That's the distinction I want to make, and please understand this. Indian government has said that you have to set up a power plant, spending thousands of crores. Yes. If you have not set up a power plant, if you have not set up a
so you're selling power
plant, yes. So
but the power is sold at market price.
Power is sold at market price because that is what the norms are. Out of 200 blocks, I believe only 30 blocks are operational, only 15%.
In Odisha, is yours functioning?
In Odisha, ours is not functioning. Okay, so out of 200 blocks, only 15% are functional. 85% are not functional because it is extremely challenging. These blocks are those blocks which Coal India had no plans to mine these blocks, and that is why they were allocated to private sector. And against stiff conditions, and all these blocks, like you said, 8 blocks, I'm saying 4 blocks, whatever blocks have been allocated, they have been allocated on merits of the particular project, because we have committed to invest probably more than 100,000 crores, more than $20 billion for getting these coal blocks. And if we do not make that investment, we do not get the coal block. We can't take the coal anywhere else. Till the year 2000, there was hardly any takers. When we used to apply for a coal block, there used to be hardly any competition, hardly any takers.
So the CAG,
because we made it a success, we made a success out of this by setting up a successfully steel plant, power plant, and we made money in it. That has inspired hundreds of people to come into this business.
So what you're saying is that the CAG in retrospect is saying, because you've made these massive profits, is now saying how they're getting away with it.
No,
is that your point of view?
CAG is not saying that. Okay, some people
they're
in
saying
the
why
media
wasn't it? No, CAG said they should have been auctioned.
But see, CAG's what he said is that he has made a very simple calculation, taking average cost of Coal India, average selling price of Coal India. So which I do not agree at all, because he's just assumed something that all these coal blocks would be mined. And I can tell you, you'll remember this. I think personally, today only 15% are working. Even in 10 years' time, not even 50% of them would be operational, because many of them have reserve forests. Many of them, people would not allow you to enter these blocks. So there are various problems in these projects. So it is very difficult to do work in India. It's very difficult to do any large project. Extremely difficult to start a coal mines. Let's not make it further difficult.
The accusation is, and from actually, I've heard it even from business people, that that the people who got the coal blocks, they got it for a song, and now they're selling, as you said, power at market price. The view is that why not have auctioned it, that you are getting it for almost free and selling it at huge profits, which in retrospect the CAG is saying the wrong thing to do. And you're saying that you've done a job which nobody else would have done. You've created profits which nobody else could do because you were efficient and the best CEO. Accepting all that, but still looking at the CAG's point of view, that you got it for a song and selling it at market price. Do you think you could sell it at a more subsidized price?
When we came into business, when we started our production in 2008, the power prices were 5 rupees to 6 rupees at that time. Now they are 2 rupees 50 paisa to 3 rupees. Have they come down or have they gone up? That's my question. So to bring down prices of any commodity, it is simple economics that we have to increase the supply. We have to remove the supply side constraints. As the supply would increase, the prices would go down, and that is what is happening. So many projects are languishing today for want of coal, for want of clearances and other issues. So, once those supply side constraints are removed, automatically power will become cheaper. So, for CAG or anyone to say that something, all these mines would be operational, 100% of this coal would be mined over 30 years, and this is going to be the profit, which is that 1,76,000 crores, almost $35 billion, and this is what is, and he never said that this is loss to the exchequer. He, in the report, I am saying he, but basically the organization only said that this is the gain to the private sector, and a part of it, if this was auction, a part of this would have come to the government. I have nothing against auction. In the future, our government has decided that we are going to auction, but we can't start going back. Like, if I was to ask you a question, there's so many TV channels, was there an auction for the licenses? Is there a charge for the spectrum? There isn't. So why are we just targeting?
Television channels are not a natural resource.
No, but their spectrum is. Even
so
television channels, but for the television channel, where is this charge on spectrum?
Well, they pay
how
for
are the licenses?
Fees.
Were the licenses given in a manner? So I'm just saying, I mean, we can always learn from hindsight. We can always be wiser.
But there's a difference. I mean, that's a wrong comparison, because they're not given in competition. If somebody applies for a license,
let's talk about coal. I'm again emphatically saying that the policy that Government of India has been following since 1993 is a better policy for India than any other policy followed by any other country of the world.
Now,
and I can explain that.
For example, SAIL had a profit of 49% as compared to yours. What do you attribute that to?
Now, Steel Authority has much more mineral resources than us. Okay? Now, if I work efficiently, if whatever profits that we earn, we are honest taxpayers, we show that profit and we are paying taxes, people have a problem with that?
Apparently they do.
So that's, I mean, there's only some people, but I know most people, our shareholders, all the stakeholders of JSPL, they are very happy.
Could you explain to me the controversy about this RTI activist Ramesh Agarwal, who says that he was targeted by you, was arrested under your instructions, and two people, KK Chopra of people who take care of your security, director of this SFSS, and the director of the GM of your security in Jindal's plant in Orissa, they were arrested for shooting Ramesh Agarwal, and he was arrested initially for creating a nuisance. What is your?
There are lots of facts that you have them wrong. I do not wish to talk about this subject because this matter is sub judice, and this matter is in the court. It's a very unfortunate thing which happened. I condemn the attack on Mr. Agarwal. Nobody should ever have to do something as heinous as that happened. So we completely condemn it, and the courts are looking at this matter, and I'm sure justice will prevail.
But these were two
your guys. I'm emphatically saying, no, they were not our guys. This was a security agency that we have been, whether they are guilty or not, that the courts, it will come out in the courts. So if they are guilty, they would be punished. We have nothing to do with this incident. And the matter, since the matter is in courts, it would not be proper. I obviously know a lot more about this. I can answer all these things. But since the matter is in court, we must respect that, and I do not wish to comment anything further on this.
Okay. Thank you, Naveen.
Thank you.